Then I got another question. Off list. Audit. It has on the sheet that we have here, it says that
Kevin's sheet.
this sheet, right?
That's Kevin.
Change that to Kevin sheet of high school. Thank you. If a student does not have an assignment turned in by midterm or at the end of the quarter, they will be assigned an incomplete grade and are required to come in either before or after school complete. Okay. How long do you wait?
We wait. Well, we're right into that right now. We finished up midterm, and so we give them 5 days. But they're in working lunch at the high school. So when they have throughout the week, every Tuesday we get a list of X amount of kids are in working lunch. They bring their trays up, and they're working on their assignments, trying to get their name checked off the list so they can go back to regular lunch. Okay, so that's kind of intervention number 2, because then they're also in at-risk study hall too. But at midterm, then we give them 5 days to get that incomplete made up for midterm. In fact, today was the end of last Friday was the end of the 5-day period. Today, kids are staying after school or coming in early tomorrow. So we've got, I think it was 16 kids that still had incompletion. When midterm came out, we had 92 kids that had some assignment that was out. We're down to 16 now, but that's what the policy, we wanted to do that, to catch them before they get to the end of the semester. And so now, today, we had 8 kids stay this after school today, working on assignments, or they're with the teacher working on that assignment, and then tomorrow we've got, I think, 5 or 6 more coming in the morning to get additional help to get off the incomplete. So I give them 5 days after midterm or quarter before they're coming into school, or coming in before or after school.
So at the end of the semester, which is
Week from Friday.
Then the hammer comes down?
Well, what happens is, during the 3 days of, we've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of semester tests. And during that time, if they don't have open campus, and so they're in here with Teresa Tigas, who's watching the study hall when it's supposed to be an open campus, they're in here working on their assignments. So we catch probably 95, 96% of them. Then there's that other 3% that we're still trying to get a hold of. The policy that you're looking at was 2 phases. It was our high school BLT and our student BLT. And our student BLT was instrumental in creating this policy. They said, you know what, we understand that we need to turn our assignments in. And they said, we have a lot of students who are more than willing to take a 0 and be on their way. But what type of lesson is that teaching them? Can we go to our job and say, I'm just not going to do that report today, and so what if the DE calls me? I don't care. I'll just take the 0. That's not how the world works. You're expected to get stuff turned in. And so to not give them the option that zeros are unacceptable, and that's too easy. And that teaches them something that we don't want to instill in our kids.
Well, the other piece of that, right alongside of it, is that the work we assign, we're taking for granted that what the teacher has asked them to do and turn into them is important to do. Because if it's not, we're saying to staff, don't assign that to them.
Well, and that was discussed at several staff meetings. I think you might have said that in a couple of them.
And really, we're not telling staff not to assign work. We're just saying that you give homework and assignment as checks. It's formative assessment to see our kids getting the concepts and skills that you want them to get. So you don't just say, well, you can do 0 and take enough. No, you have to know the content. And if the content that we've determined is important, then you got to do the work. And so there's 2 parts. It's like you said, it's the responsibility piece of, hey, that's not how it works, and it's the other piece of, well, but you have to know X to pass the class. And just not letting them fail. Failure is, you can't fail it. That's not an option for you to fail this course. You're going to have to do the work. And I thought it was interesting that the kids just said things like, and I think I'm saying this right, you know what, most of us in this group do our work, and we don't like it that our peers don't do their work. Our teachers assign us the work to do because they know we need to learn this, and they know that that's how they can tell if we do it. And you know what, we don't like it that kids that are our classmates don't do their work. So there needs to be something where everybody makes them do the work. And I think that's important to hear from kids. They get that piece of it.
And we also sent letters home last week of those kids that would be staying after, just send them home saying, just be aware that if so-and-so isn't cut up by Monday, they'll be staying after. And like I said, the conversation I had with kids, there wasn't one argument. They knew that where they were at, and they understood that. So that communication piece helps too.
Okay, to move this along, then we need to have a motion from each of the boards then? Okay. So I entertain a motion to accept Kevin's changes, Denny's changes, and up to 180 minutes on all the level ones.
The student and parent handbook.
Okay, the student and parent handbook. Right, okay. What'd you say? You?
Yeah.
Don't make me say that again, right? Yeah. A second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
We're looking for the same motion from the board.
Exactly what you're looking for. Whatever you said.
Second?